Are you running your own bar right now, Paige? It's a bit strange for a woman to have her own bar that she manages, right? Could this be one of those girls' bar type places where only women are hired to attract more men in? I wouldn't be upset with you or anything for doing something like that, but I just never saw you as the person who would start a business doing that. Trudy? It's been a while. You're right. I have my own bar that I'm managing. It's a bar where I like to serve up more sports bar type foods, while also keeping the cocktails and such a bit more classy. So please, don't think of it as anything sexual like that, alright? I'm actually putting almost all my time into the place right now, and have a lot of dignity in the place I've created. Oh? Well then, next time we have a class reunion, I'll make sure we throw it there. This will be for all our class from back in the day, so I can start asking all of them if they'd like to come. It's been a while since all of us have seen one another, so I think it'd be a great idea and loads of fun. That's all fine, but having that many people showing up to my bar might not actually work. Especially since I haven't talked to most of the people from back in school for so long now, and a lot of them might have moved away. We'd also have to work on reaching out to every single person from our class that is still close to us, and then work on actually getting my bar set up for all of them to come and party there. I have a lot of tables, but maybe not as many as we need. You can leave all that to me. I'll make sure everything is all ready for the reunion. And hey, you know about how I'm a pretty popular girl, right? So I'm sure everyone will know about the reunion soon enough, and I won't even have to go through the troubles of inviting each and every person. I just want you to do what you do there at that bar and get the food and drinks ready for us. Are you sure? Isn't that going to be a lot of work for you then? Maybe ask a couple of your closer friends to come and help you out. I guess I could do that. Well then, let me see if Connor would like to come and help me out. What? Didn't you used to like Connor a lot back when we were all in school? I'm sure you'll love being able to see him again if he comes to the reunion. Come on now, Trudy. I told you back then I was never really that into him. Connor and I were just casual friends and nothing more. And back in those days, I happened to have another man that I was really in love with. I'm sure you knew that yourself too, so please stop it with this whole thing again. Sure. Well, all of that was years ago now, so don't feel like I hold anything against you for it, alright? I'm sure that you are much more mature now, and that there won't be anything going on between us anymore, right? Of course, back then I was really up in arms about you, thinking that you were a complete witch. But that was only because you knew that I liked him, but continued to hang out with him all the time. But here's the thing, I wasn't around him because I liked him like that. I was around him all the time because he became a good friend of mine, and happened to hang out with the guy I had been crushing on. The fact that Connor didn't want to go out with you when you confessed to him is a completely different story, alright? It has nothing to do with me, and you should know that by now. So, can we stop talking about it and get back to planning things for the reunion you want to have? I know all about it, Paige. About your games behind the scenes. Connor and I were doing so well together before you came along. And the reason he ended up saying no to me must have been because of something you did. And I think what you did made him like you more than me. And that's not something I took lightly back in those days. I get that him and I were pretty close to one another then. But the only reason him and I ever really became friends is because back then I had a crush on his buddy Matt. And so I was always around Connor while around Matt. I was aware that you had a crush on Connor at the time, and didn't mean to keep him away from you. Was I ever trying to push you away from him? No. Did I ever at any point say that I was going out with him then? No. So just leave it be already. There we go. So you were with Connor all the time even though I wanted him. You really are the worst of the worst. If you saw that I wanted him to be my boyfriend, then why be around him all the time taking his eyes off me? I told you it wasn't like that. I never made any moves for Connor. Why don't you go and ask him about it if you're so concerned still? I'm sure he'd be more than happy to tell you what happened back then, and why he never said yes to you. What? So you're telling me you never knew you were taking him away from me? Well, that just means you're a complete witch then. So it's confirmed. You're a terrible person and shouldn't be able to get away with that. I don't think you're even listening to me. Well, all of that is in the past now, right? And we no longer have anything against one another anymore from then. So let's get back on track and think about having this class reunion at your bar. When I've gone out and asked everyone, I'll give you an update and the head count. All right. Thank you. You were really stressing me out there for a second, so I hope you're honest about not holding anything against me anymore.
Paige! Long time no see. I'm sure you've already heard from Trudy about the class reunion she wants to throw, right?
Connor? How's it been going with you? As for the reunion, she says she wants around 70 people to come. That surprised me quite a bit. I don't think she understands how everyone feels about her after so many years have gone by. Does she even have half of their contact information?
I never really thought she, out of anyone, would want that many people coming. I'm surprised myself here.
You and her went out to start asking people, right? I'm sure it's been a struggle for you having to be around her all the time again. But thank you for doing that.
It wasn't that bad for me, actually. I still happen to be friends with a lot of guys from school, and so I asked them to help us round people up as well. But on Trudy's end, I'm not sure she was really able to convince anyone to come yet. I'm sure she will at least get a few people that she knows to come.
I see. So you guys are still really close to one another then?
I go out a lot still with Matt to get lunch and such. He said he'll be coming to the class reunion as well. He hasn't changed a bit since school, if that matters at all to you or not.
Is that right? Well then, him and I should be able to talk to one another like we always did.
I'm sure you'll be able to talk with me the same way as well, right? To be honest, I'm still really sorry about what happened back then. I can tell I was still a child then, and I'm glad I've finally grown up now. The whole reason you and Matt were never able to be a thing is all my fault, right?
Would you stop that? That's all in the past now, all right? I don't blame you for any of what went on then.
But right as you were about to start talking to Matt about your feelings, I was confessed to by Trudy. And I let it happen, right there in front of you both. I feel so selfish for doing that to you. I'm so sorry, Paige.
I told you not to apologize for that. I myself never thought something like that would happen right then. You and her had always been a bit strange with one another, but I'm thankful you always stuck around me and Matt while having to deal with Trudy.
But actually, back then I was kind of into the both of you at the same time. Had I not let what happened happen, then maybe you and Matt would have been able to date. That's how I felt about the situation ever since.
Huh? Really? Wait, I never knew that you had feelings for me as well. Are you alright? If something like that gets out, you might be making Matt pretty upset with you.
Well, that was all a long time ago, right? We were both able to talk about things like that while laughing. He's even told me that he's really looking forward to seeing you at the event.
Wow. I'm a little bit nervous now. I'm really looking forward to seeing him myself.
I hope you're looking forward to seeing me as well, though.
Of course I'm excited to see you too. You and I haven't really talked in ages, so it'll be nice to see how you've been and catch up. I'll make sure to make up some extra special foods for you then as well. I hope you'll enjoy all of it.
Wait, you work at that Italian restaurant now? Are you working part-time there or something?
Huh? What are you talking about? I thought that this class reunion we're going to have would be taking place at my bar that I run. Since I'm the one running it, Trudy said it would be easier to have an even there since I can make the place private for the day.
Huh? But the restaurant that Trudy sent me a link to where she reserved courses at dinner is an Italian restaurant. What is going on here?
That idiot. I see what's going on here now. She told me that she had nothing against me now, but that's not true at all.
Wait, what's going on here, Paige? What's she planning on doing here?
I'll explain that to you in just a bit. Ah, this is not good. I'm going to be late. I'm sure that everyone is already there and ready to party, right? I'm sure right now you're freaking out, right? Oh, hi, Trudy. I was just thinking about sending you a message about this. I'm glad you thought the same thing. I'm sure you're freaking out over the fact that nobody's come to your bar yet, right? Well, that's because I'm going to have to cancel that reservation I had there for 70 people. I actually really hate your freaking guts still, so I wanted to make sure to take down your bar in one swift move. So that's why nobody's even shown up yet. But we're all here having a great time right now. Thank you for getting me all these people to come and enjoy my bar's drinks and cooking. Today I think I might make enough in profits to be able to take all of next month off. What? What are you talking about? I knew about your plans to try and hurt me, so I made sure to make a solution to that right away before the day of the reunion. So that's why the only person that's going to be left in pain is you, Trudy. All the people you and Connor invited have all showed up to my bar and are having a great time. Huh? There's no way that's the case. I already went ahead and told everyone that the event would be taking place at this Italian restaurant that I booked. I have a reservation there for 70 people to get course dinners and serve them tonight. That's what I heard. But after talking to everyone myself about what's happened, they all understood the situation and decided to come to my bar instead. What did you say? I'm surprised everyone is just as friendly with me as I remember. All I had to do was talk to a few of them, and the news of what you were up to spread like wildfire. I really didn't have to do a whole lot to get them to come here. Connor even came and helped me out, and the transition was so smooth. Connor went and helped you out as well? Are you telling me that even now you and him are still a thing? Come on, Trudy. I've already told you so many times now that him and I were never a thing. Him and I always have been close friends, and so even now, him and I were able to talk to one another like friends. And well, as we were talking a little while back, he mentioned something that made me realize what you were up to. Connor realized that you still had not grown up and chose to come and help me instead. So, in other words, you're saying that Connor now thinks of me as a bad person? I'm thinking that everyone at this reunion now thinks of you as a bad person, or at least worse than you were back in school. You're like the same old schoolgirl that you were years ago, never maturing and staying the exact same way. I sort of feel bad for you for never being able to grow out of your kids' clothing. Well, if you've not been told this already, holding on to your past like that and trying to hurt me still is not something that will treat you well in your adult years. Why the hell is this happening? The fact that Connor has gone to your side on this matter means that he is definitely your boyfriend. I'm sure you both have been together ever since school and never broke up. So now you think you can mess with me because I was never able to be with him? You're a jerk, you absolute witch. No. Are you ever going to listen to anything anyone ever says to you? You were the one planning to mess with me first by making this reservation at my bar and then canceling it last minute. The only person who has been a witch is you. And it's not just Connor that's on my side, but everyone else from school. No freaking way. Why did you even figure out my plan? I bet you hated the idea of me being able to throw a reunion with the help of Connor and did something to win him over to you again. I've been fooled for the last time. Come on. You are not listening to me, Trudy. He was the one to contact me first about all of this. And him and I wouldn't have never had anything together because he's already married now. He never had any plans of making things happen with you either.
Huh? Connor? He's married currently?
Yes, he's both married and has kids of his own now. That means no matter what you expected to happen, he wasn't going to do anything with you. And actually, Connor kind of hates you still. Especially now.
That's a straight up lie. Connor and I used to always be so close to one another in school. And when him and I were getting people to come to the reunion, we both worked so well together as a couple. He was so happy to be with me inviting all those people.
There it is. You are just too far lost in this dream world of yours. Connor just happens to be a nice guy and wanted to help you set up the class reunion. That's all. He happens to have a lot of friends from school still, so he thought it would help you out a lot having him around. None of his help had anything to do with him wanting to take things further with you or anything.
That's just what you want to keep believing, right? He would never say that he hates me like you've said.
But right now, Connor is standing right next to me. He's been looking at my phone while I text you, and he's been laughing about it.
What? You're lying. What does Connor really think of me then?
He thinks of you as just another rude witch. You would always try to confess to him in school, no matter how many times he told you no. And even now he sort of feels as though you've been stalking him or something. I think he really does not care for you at all, Trudy, so just let him go.
He would. He would never say something to me like that about me.
But he's saying that about you right now. But if you really want to hear it from him, then why don't you just talk to him? I have no reason to really know about any of this since it's between you both. I don't care about who you're into or about who you think likes you back. I have a life of my own and always have had one. And it's never revolved around you trying to get with Connor.
No way. Connor? He's really thought of me like that then? I always thought that him and I were so close to one another. But you have ended up getting in the way of us once again, causing the love that we had for each other to die out.
No, I have not. I just happened to hang out with Connor a lot as a friend, and it was only because I happened to really like his friend Matt a lot. And even if he did start to like me or me him, I'm sure we would rather just be friends than anything else. So whatever you think's been happening between us has never actually been true.
But look, you got in the way of him and I. You made him look away from me and towards you. That's why he ended up liking you over me and wanting to hang out with you more and more.
God. This is so stupid. I only ever started to hang out with Connor because I liked Matt. And I never did anything else to make him like me any. He was well aware that you liked him, but he had other things going on that kept him away from you. So please, stop thinking of things like that.
But in the end, he never went out with me. Because of you, my love for him was never cared for.
That had nothing to do with me. Rather, it was all because you made him hate you. So stop blaming for your lack of being a good person, alright? It's childish. Also, you happen to be hated by a lot of people in school. All of the girls in our class hated you, right? Well, a lot of the guys started to see that and were wondering why people didn't like you.
What? A lot of the girls in our class hated me? That's just because I was the most cute girl in our grade, right?
No. They hated you because you excused everything you did to others by being cute and innocent. You were the type of girl that would put others down just to make yourself look better, and then turn around and act like you never did anything hurtful. That's why you barely had any friends back then, right?
I never did that.
Well, can't we use what you tried doing to me this time as an example of that? You wanted to make me feel terrible, all so that you could be happy and feel as though you came out on top. You really love laughing in other people's faces when they are in a painful situation, don't you? You really had to lie through your teeth last time when you said you didn't hold anything against me anymore.
I know that. Wait, about this place. The restaurant that I reserved for everyone. They are telling me I can't cancel the reservation anymore. So can you have everyone move over to this restaurant and come join me?
You have no right to be asking me something like that now. You thought after what you did, I'd just be nice to you again? You wanted to destroy my bar, didn't you? Huh?
I get that, but I'm over it now. They just gave me the bill for the 70 people they're expecting to serve soon. I can't pay for all of this. So the only thing I can do now is have you send them all over to this place for the reunion.
That's not happening. Most of them won't even come where you were to ask them right now. Nobody here is going to help you take responsibility for something you did to yourself.
Don't say things like that. I'm telling you, I can't pay for 70 people's courses meal by myself. Hey, please just help me out here. Tell them to come over and eat here, please.
What the hell do you think you're saying? You were just talking about taking down my bar. Having to run a business is not some kind of game to me. Had I not known about your plans to ruin me, I'd be at a major loss right now and would probably have to think about selling the place. It's crazy to think that someone would actually want to cancel last minute like that, right after I've already started making food and everything for 70 people.
But I told you already. I won't ever do anything like that again. But making me have to take responsibility for all of this is not fair to me.
So you learned from this already? Then, when are you going to get around to saying you're sorry? I haven't heard "I'm sorry" from you this whole time.
Well, I'm sorry. I promise to never do anything like this again. So can you please help me out of this mess now?
Of course you'll never do anything like this again, because there will never be another chance for you. This time, everyone was more than willing to change plans to come to my bar. And the next time we have a reunion, you're not going to be invited. It looks to me like a lot of people from our class don't like you at all.
Don't say things like that. Please, if you don't do anything to help me, then I'm going to be stuck paying $7,000. I can't pay that kind of money, so do something.
I don't care. You started all of this yourself, so you figure a way out of it yourself, you freaking idiot.
Please, don't say that to me. Right now I have no clue what to do. You already told me that Connor hates my guts, and now I have to pay this kind of money? Also, I just had to hear about how Connor is already married.
Shut the hell up and quit that whining. You've been doing things that make people hate you ever since school. So stop acting like you ever had a chance with a man, when that chance was burned long ago.
Alright. I'm sorry, alright? So please, do something to help me out.
Right now, I'm having a really good time talking to everyone I haven't seen in so long while making food and drinks. I don't have time to talk to you anymore, as I have this reunion to focus on. So I'm leaving now. Thank you for getting this large amount of people into my bar. That's the one kind thing you've ever done for me. Now that you've gone and lost both your money and the man of your dreams, you can go and get a taste of hell. After that, I went ahead and completely blocked Trudy's phone number and never had to hear another word from her again. Also, it turns out that Trudy never even knew where my bar was located, so I never had to have her coming in here after that. I understand now that this time Trudy wanted all of the people from our class to go and have a reunion at that restaurant without me. But after they all learned of her bad intentions towards me, she lost her chance and only made everyone hate her even more. Just like myself, a lot of the others ended up blocking her number as well, including Connor. As for myself, I was able to run into Matt again, and we talked all night long, even after the reunion had ended, and I was cleaning up the bar. And not too long after that day, him and I decided we wanted to get married, and it'll only be a matter of time until we two have kids that can go over and play with Connors. In the end, Trudy had to pay that restaurant the $7,000 they had billed her for, and after losing both her money and her mental sanity, she was on a road to clear destruction. She had actually tried running from the restaurant instead of paying them, but they had already called the police because they could tell she wasn't wanting to pay what they were billing her. So the moment she ran out the door, 2 officers grabbed her and carried her right back inside to have her pull out her credit card and pay. It was either that, or she'd be going to jail for the night and have to fight the restaurant in court over a bill that large. But she made the right choice to pay up, and will now have to spend the next couple of years of her life trying to pay for that, and living with the now known fact that everyone from school really does hate her. Now, let's be honest here though. All of that was well deserved on her part, and I hope she's not going to make any more stupid decisions from now on. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.